Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made these Resin Crete coasters. So you have to have a scale because you need to weigh it in grams, and there's a picture of it. I did get it off of Amazon. It's about $17 with tax. So what I do is I put my cup on my scales and then I zero it out, and I want to measure 100 grams of the Resin Crete powder. It is a powder and you just add water to it. So I'm just trying to get it to 100. I do have my scale set to grams. Took a little too much out, so I got to add a little in. A little more in. Yeah. Take it out, put it in, take it out, put it in. So that right there is 98. We're almost there. Just a tad, just a tad, just a tad, not too much. Oh, 100. Okay. So we got 100 grams of the Resin Crete powder. And now I'm going to put the same type of cup on, and these are just clear solo cups. And I'm going to add 30 grams of water. So for every 100 grams of Crete, you want to add 30 grams of water. So I poured a little too much in there, so I have to empty a little out several times. Trying to get it exactly, or as close as I can. Just keep doing it. Okay, did I get it? Oh, I'm turning the scale around. There it is on 30 grams of water. So now we're ready to mix it together. So I have my powder. I'm pouring my water in, stirring it up, and I just have this old spoon that I've had forever. Mix it up real good until all the powder is mixed in. And you can go ahead and add your color to it, and you can just use acrylic paints. Now, I don't think the metallic acrylic paints work very well, but the regular acrylic paints work well. And once you pour it in, I am misting a little bit more water because they say as you add paint, you need more water. So just mixing it up, getting around the bottom ridge of that cup there, that's where the powder is laying. So I want to make sure I mix that up. And you have about, they say about 8 minutes before it starts to harden up. So you need to work pretty fast. And I'm going to use my heat gun just to burst some of those bubbles that are in there that came to the top. And now I have my mold. It's just a round coaster mold that I got from Hobby Lobby. They came 4 in a package with the holder. So I'm going to pour it right at the top. And then the package says you want to, do your mold like I'm doing it right there to get more of the air bubbles out. And I'm going to get another mold because I don't want to waste this stuff. And I'm just going to pour the rest of it in it. It won't make a whole coaster though. So 100 grams will not make a whole coaster. But I did figure out you could do one coaster with 75 grams of the Crete and then 23 grams of water will make exactly one coaster. One of these round ones that I got from Hobby Lobby. So this is what I had left for this coaster. I'm going to take my heat gun and burst some more of the bubbles. And then you're supposed to kind of bounce it up and down to burst some of the bubbles too, because you know bubbles make holes. So that one's easy to do up and down because it's only half full. This one's a little bit more difficult. And then I just decide to do my whole lazy Susan. Just bounce it up and down. And then what you want to do is you want to set that aside to set up. And you want to make sure you have it on a level flat surface too. Because if you have it on a surface that's not level, your coasters are not going to be level. That's why I'm using my Lazy Susan. And then I'm set my timer for 30 minutes because in 30 minutes you should be able to unmold your Crete. And now I'm mixing up a little more because I want to do another coaster and a half. And I used some pink acrylic paint. The other one was turquoise. That one was called Pink Parfait. And the colors, when they dry, they're not as vibrant as when you mix them up. So I just mixed that up. I did the same 100 grams of Crete with 30 grams of water and then my paint. And that should give me another 1.5 coasters. So I did the one coaster and now I'm going to pour the rest of it in this other coaster that has the turquoise in it. So this is going to give me 3 coasters. And you can see on my timer there, I still have 12 minutes and 24 seconds for the other coasters to be done. Well, not done, but so you can demold them. So I got all my Crete in there, and then you just clean it up with water. Very easy. And I'm taking, again, my heat gun, and I'm bursting the bubbles. And then I'm going to do my mold up and down, or my Lazy Susan up and down to get out more bubbles. And my table is uneven. That's why I have this on the Lazy Susan and I'm turning it like I am. So for the turquoise one, it's still not done yet. I can't demold it, but I did kind of go over the edge of the mold. So I'm just taking this little scraper tool here that I have, and I'm getting off that extra Crete from the mold there on the edges. It is dry enough for me to do that. Oh, and this Crete does get a little warm. I forgot to tell you that. Once you add your water and you mix it up. Gets a little warm, not very much, but a little bit. But yeah, I'm just getting the excess off of the top of my mold there because I got a little carried away. And now you see my timer. I have 4 seconds left, and then I can demold this. There we go. Yay, this is the fun part. So I'm just going to push it out. And let me tell you, when you take that top off and you touch it, oh, it is so smooth. So smooth. It feels so good. If you're into, you know, how things feel, wow, it feels really good. So I'm just taking my scraper tool there, and I'm still going around the edges where it's kind of overlapped. And then I decide to go to my sander. And I think this worked a little bit better, you know, once I got it down closer to the coaster itself. So I just go around the edges and hit it with my sander there. And then rub my finger over it to get the dust off. So this does take a little while. You know, you want to get it down to where it's even with the rest of the sides of the coaster there. And I'm being careful just to do that bottom part. I'm not doing the rest of it. I'm just getting the bottom edge. And I'd never really heard of this stuff until I watched a YouTube video for it. And I'm like, what? What is this stuff? So I will link that video that I watched in the description box in case you want to check it out. So I did go to Amazon and I ordered the Resin Crete because I'm like, I need to try this stuff out. I'd never heard of it before. Never seen anything having to do with it, and I'm like, you know what, I just want to try this out. Now, if it was going to be really expensive, I wouldn't have done it, but like I say, I think it was $15.99, and with tax and all, it was like $17, so I didn't think that was too bad. So I got that one done. And it's time to demold the others. So here's the one that's the two-tone color. Like I say, they're really smooth on the top, and I really like touching it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go over the edges. This one wasn't too bad because I didn't go over the edge of the mold on that one. And this sander thingy I did get from Amazon also. I think I got it last year or something. I find it is a very good tool to have in your arsenal of crafting tools. So see, that was pretty simple because I didn't go over the edge. But I'm just going to do it just a little bit more to make it even. And I did wipe them down with a towel after I did all this to get all the dust off of it. So there's that one, and now we're going to demold the last one. This was the all pink one. I just love the feel of that top. Oh, so smooth. I know I keep saying that, but if you're like me and you like to feel things, soft and smooth things, yeah, the bomb, right? Okay, so I didn't make you watch all that one. So there's that one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate. Now this is the next day. And you see that ring on my coaster there? Well, I picked out which washi tape I wanted to use, and I set it on top of it because I had the 3 different ones and the 3 different washi tapes. And when I let it dry, I had that on top of it and it made a ring. So don't do that. Just set it beside it. You can figure it out later as far as what tapes you want to use. Don't set it on top of it. Although after it was all said and done, and you couldn't tell. You couldn't see the ring. But yes, I did let this sit overnight. And then I'm just taking my sander there and I'm sanding off the edge of the washi tape. And I thought these washi tapes would go well with this because it has gold in it. And as you're going to see in a little bit, I'll do something with some other gold. Well, you probably saw it in the thumbnail. So get that off. And now what I have is this gilding size. Now I have seen other people just use Mod Podge or whatever kind of glue they had. I'm using this because that's what I have, and this gold leaf also came from this place, the same place too. So I'm going to use it. You can use whatever, you know, works best for you. This is what I have on hand. I have a lot of it because I have another container, so I need to use it. And I'm just taking my fan brush, I'm dipping it in it, and then I'm taking a little bit of it off because I didn't really want full coverage. And I do go around the edges first. And as my brush goes dry, then I add more of the sizing glue on it. Just going around the edges at this point. Well, there I am going on the top just a little bit, not very much. And I do also put the glue over top of the washi tape there on the edge. And then once you get all that on there, you want to set it aside and let the glue get tacky. And now I'm going to the next one. This is the pink one. And again, the washi tape in the ring. Yeah, don't do that. Learn by my mistakes. I love this washi tape. It's so pretty. Oh yeah, the washi tape I did get from Amazon. And like I said, all of them have gold in them. So when I go to do my gold leaf, it looks really pretty. So again, I'm just sanding off the edges of the washi tape. I'm doing this very lightly because I don't want to get off any of the Crete. I don't want to sand off any of that. I just want to sand off the washi tape. I mean, if a little bit comes off, that's okay. But mostly I just want to do the washi tape. So I wipe that off with my hand. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. And I'm going to do the same thing with the sizing. And my sizing and my my gilding size and my gold gold leaf came from a maker's studio. And again, I'm putting it around the edge of the coaster, and then I'll put a little bit on top. So there's the edge all done. I'm just doing a little bit there, just a little bit on the top edge. Make sure you go over the washi tape too. And now this is the last one. This is the turquoise and pink one. Again, you know, there's that ring. I wish that I had put like the turquoise half of the mold on one side and then did the pink half on the other side. That would have been nice. But when we get finished with this, you won't even know there's any pink on it at all on that underside, and you'll see that later. I'm just trying to get my washi tape in the center as much as possible. Just eyeballing it. And then you want to make sure it's pressed down. And then I just sand off the edge again, just like I did the other two. And I'll put my gilding size on. Same way I did the other two. I know you guys need to watch it 3 times. Not really, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of editing on this video. Maybe I should have done more. But if you don't want to see this, you can always jump ahead to the next portion. And then I'll put it on the top there. Don't forget to put it over top of your washi tape. You know, just a little bit. And I do recommend using a fan brush, because that way, you know, see how the bristles are spread apart. That way they're not all together, and I think it looks better that way. So I'm just taking my gold leaf there and putting it where my glue was, where my sizing is. Putting it around the edge first, and then I'll put it on the top. I'm sorry that's a little bit out of frame there. It's really hard to craft and film at the same time, if you know what I mean. And you can always pick up the little pieces and put them on there too. You don't want to waste any of this stuff. And I think they have it at Hobby Lobby. And I'm sure they have it online too. And you want to make sure your fan, like if you have an overhead fan on or a fan blowing on your table while you're crafting, you want to make sure you turn that off, because the stuff is going to blow everywhere. And now I'm just rubbing the excess off. And it does stick to you, so you want to make sure you don't get the glue on your fingers. And now I'm just going to take this brush here, and what this does, it's going to get off more of the excess, but it's also going to push it more on your coaster there, so it will adhere better. And I just like the brush strokes of the fan brush there for the gold leaf. I think it turned out pretty good. I like it. So I just go around the whole thing where the gold leaf is, getting off as all of it that is not adhered to my coaster. I just like the way this turned out. Very nice. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. And there it is. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the pink one. And I'm just going to pick up these pieces that came off the other one and put it on it. And I'm just doing the top part first. You can do whatever part first you want. It doesn't matter. And when I finished putting the size on all three coasters, that's when I went back to the first one. So you don't have to wait very long for it to set up. So I just did half of the top part there, and then I went ahead and took my brush and got the excess pieces off, and that way I can put them on the other side. Just using the pieces there. Going along the edge, putting it on the gold there. But yeah, this stuff is kind of messy. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's pretty though. It's real pretty. So here I got another sheet of it. I'm putting it on there, but any leftover, you need to save it. Don't throw it away, because you can always use it for other projects. You can use the teeniest, tiniest pieces of this stuff to make things. And this is only going to stick where you put your gilding size. It's not going to stick anywhere else. So again, when you're using your brush, you're kind of pressing down a little bit hard so that it's pressing it into your coaster, and it's also getting off the excess gold leaf. And then when I get done with all of mine, I have this little container that I put all my pieces in and save it. So you're kind of burnishing it on and getting off the excess at the same time. And I really like the way it elevated these coasters. Look at that. So pretty. It's so pretty. Look at that. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So there's coaster number 2. And I'm going to do coaster number 3. And like I said, when I get done with these coasters, you're not even going to know this has pink on it at all. The pink Crete, you won't even see it. So you'll have to stick around till the end to see how I finish it up. And if you decide to make some of this, let me know. You can go to Liz's Crafts on Facebook. and send me a picture. And I know you needed to see this 3 times. I did do another coaster and I made it purple, and it's very light purple because when you put the paint in this Crete, it's not as vibrant as the paint in the bottle at all. So it mutes it way down. But I did do the purple one off camera. But you'll see it in the end, and you probably saw it in the thumbnail too. But I'm just picking up the extra pieces there and putting it in the sizing. If I feel any sticky stuff, then I need to put more of the gold leaf on it. And then I'm just going to do the same thing that I did to the other 2. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about this project. Just put me a blurb in the comments and let me know. And there's the 3rd one. Lovely. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this glossy collage stuff on here. And I'm going to use my pouncer brush. So it's going to put some texture on these. Which is kind of a shame because the top of these coasters are so smooth and wonderful to the touch. I do suggest you put it around the edges first and then do the top instead of the way I did it. And I think I did put 2 coats on it. With the Resin Crete, you do need to seal it in with something. If I was to do this again, I would seal it in with some spray sealer. I did not, did I do the bottom? I don't think I did the bottom. No, I did not do the bottom. So I just did around the edge and then the top. And like I said, I believe I did do 2 coats. And now I'm going to use this adhesive cork that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've had it for a while. So I just have a piece of it left. I'm going to trace around my coaster. And then I'm going to cut that out. So I just traced on the back of the sheet with my pencil. And it basically just made an impression in it. So I'm cutting it on the line, which I don't suggest that you do because you'll see in a minute where I'm going to have to cut inside the line because it is just a little bit too big. And if I'd have thought about it earlier, I would have cut inside the line to start out with, but I didn't. So you'll see here in a minute though. So there it is on there, and I'm just thinking, you know, it's hanging over the edge a little bit. I don't really want that. So I'm going to cut off a little bit all the way around it. Not a whole lot, but enough so that it's not going to hang over the edge. And you'll see a little bit, a tiny bit of the coaster around the edge of the cork. So there's that. And yes, that's how I want it, just like that. So you see a little bit of the coaster. And instead of just sticking it on with a sticky backing, which I'm sure it probably would have been okay, but I wanted to make doubly sure, so I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue. And I got this from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to put it around the edges and put a little bit in the center, in the inside portion. And just put that on the bottom of my coaster. Make sure I get it centered up there. And there it is. There's one completed coaster. Now at this point, the glossy stuff that I put on it isn't, you know, like totally dry. So you can see it's a little bit whitish around there. And that's because it's not totally dry. I did dry it with my heat gun, but there they all three are. I love them. And then I will, let's see, when do I show you the other one? Oh, I don't. I'm just showing you that I put my cup on there. So you can see I did do 4. In the upper right-hand corner, you can see the purple one. And again, I'm Liz with Liz Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment, too. I would love to hear from you, and I appreciate you watching my videos, and I'll see you later.